A bill to rescind or cancel $9 billion in foreign aid and public broadcasting funding is headed to the House after the Senate voted to advance it. The bill passed on a 51-48 vote. Republican Senator Susan Collins of Maine, Lisa Murkowski of Alaska joined all the Democrats in opposing the president on this. Nikole Killion joins me now from Capitol Hill. Nikole, great to have you with us. What's in this, and what specifically will this do, to the degree we can find out, to public broadcasting?
Well, this basically would codify a lot of the DOGE cuts that we saw recommended at the beginning of the year, including with the dismantlement of USAID, for instance. This package includes roughly $8 billion in cuts to foreign aid, including a lot of those USAID programs, UNICEF, the World Food Program, and other global programs. And then there's also about $1 billion in cuts to public broadcasting. So that would impact more specifically local stations that are PBS affiliated, as well as with NPR. I sat down with the president and CEO of NPR earlier this week. Here's what she told me about the potential impact. Could this change the landscape or infrastructure of public radio as we know it?
I think that this could fundamentally alter public radio as a national service in this country, and that would be a tremendous tragedy. Public radio doesn't exist exclusively to serve large urban areas. Public radio primarily exists to ensure that every American can have access to news and information and reporting that matters to them.
Now, she told me that most of NPR's national programming will largely remain intact, but it's really these smaller, more rural stations that she warned could really bear the brunt of these cuts, since many of them rely on this federal funding for a significant portion of their budget. In fact, I talked to one executive director of a station up in Pennsylvania that has a staff of 4 and mostly runs with volunteer support. They say this federal funding makes up about 15% of their budget. And so without that money, the executive director told me they may have to look to other sources to continue their programming.
Nikole, as you well know, the White House leaned heavily on Senate Republicans to get this through. Will that same pressure apply to the House, which has to agree to the Senate modifications?
Well, right now we're kind of in a bit of a holding pattern as we wait for the House to take up this package. You know, we have seen the House kind of stall out over the last several days just over basic procedural steps to clear some of these larger pieces of legislation. And so this rescissions package is no different. Now, we are expecting the Rules Committee is going to meet tonight so that this package can ultimately advance. But there has been some chatter that some Democrats may try to offer an amendment related to releasing the Epstein file. So that's kind of held up a vote on this rescissions package. Speaker Mike Johnson told reporters these are completely separate issues, and he wants to try to get this package passed by Friday. Otherwise, these clawbacks won't go into effect.
An important deadline. Thanks for that reminder. Nikole Killion on Capitol Hill. Thank you.